of actually dealing damage with your heroes, because they just did not have any damage whatsoever. So that was a pretty big flaw.
Yes, just a tad. Just a tad. Well, we'll see how mvp.phoenix want to change it up this time. First pick, what are they going to nab? Well, I'm trying to think. We've not seen Drow Ranger this series. Was it banned or... I can't remember. I don't think it was banned, was it? And neither team
I don't think so either. I think it's just been open the whole time.
Yeah.
MVP ran Drow the other day as well, so it's not like they don't play it. And I'm sure that Vici can run it as well.
He's going to take the Timbersaw first. I mean, understand that. Well, we're going back to game one. Velo on the Timbersaw was an absolute monster and definitely a large part in terms of playing to get that win for MVP. So they'll fall back to it here in game number 3. And now for that second pick. I do believe, of course, this is the lower bracket. So you lose this, and I believe you're going home. Yep. This is last chance saloon for these two teams. So everything to play for here. And MVP Phoenix, they'll pick up the Oracle as their second pick. I mean, obviously great to have that backup as a Timbersaw, and also one of those heroes that's just, you don't want to play against an Oracle. If you can take it out, take it away from the opponent, it makes the drafting phase so much easier.
Yeah, I like the Oracle pick. Giving Velo a comfort zone hero also I think is really nice. The immediate reaction here from Vici is actually going to be Slardar, a hero that we haven't seen personally. I do like him in general. I think he's good against Timber. He's obviously very good at being able to jump on the back line, which is something that we talked about last game, and even in game 1. Having the lack of mobility in fights was really hurting Vici in the first game in this series, but I do like it. It kind of solves a lot of problems. Until the Slardar actually has BKB, it could be kind of annoying playing against Timber, though, just because of how much damage you can take, but I'm assuming, at least for the moment, that there's just going to be Yang playing Slardar, so he doesn't have to worry about it as much.
With that Slardar pick, I mean, is there... You know, you're picking a Slardar at this stage. What kind of heroes come to mind that you just do not want to be playing against? Oh, Huskar, obviously, I guess it is one. You know, there's an Oracle. You do
Hard
not want to
disables are obviously annoying. Heroes with other saves, like you think Avenge Swap and stuff like that, Shadow Demon Disruption, are actually great against Slardar as well. Because he's that guy who wants to jump in. You kind of think of him as like an axe. You know, you get the AoE stun, and then you're just dealing damage to a hero. So anything with a save is great. Any hard lockdown is great as well. I usually look to heroes like Beastmaster, for example, playing against Slardar, because it's something that even disables through BKB. Obviously, MVP had Timber already, and I don't even think they play Beastmaster, so I doubt that's actually going to be something that they look towards. But even stuff like... actually, Invoker is kind of hit or miss against Slardar. Invoker doesn't like playing against heroes that can get in your face really easily, and Slardar is definitely one of those heroes.
Here we have third pick for MVP. I mean, one wonders, is there any chance of kind of seeing the PA come through again? I mean, or is the Slardar and Shadow Demon just two heroes that you don't really want to play PA against?
Actually, I think SD is one of the main heroes that MVP like playing PA against.
Oh, okay.
But Slardar is a bit of a different story, because he can stun you when you blink in. Amp is still pretty scary, even with evasion, because if you do get unlucky and you get hit a few times, you can die very quickly. So that one I'm a bit unsure of, but it looks like they're going to take the Sven route. I like it. Having Warcry against a Slardar. It's a hard disable as well, and it's a lot of physical damage.
Now, the question is as well, do you think Vici Gaming could be thinking about picking up a Dazzle in this lineup? You know, the Slardar Shadow Demon combination gives you something else to... I guess it works both ways in terms of getting through the armor of Sven and the team, but at the same time, Sven can use it and time it to counter it.
Yeah, they do counter each other in some regard.
Yeah.
I like Dazzle in the sense that it offers some sustain, but we don't know if Vici want to actually go for a push kind of strategy yet. I mean, we saw Luna banned in the second phase by MVP just because it's a very common pairing, but it looks like they're going to be going more fight-oriented than they are objective-based, so I'm looking at Vici right now, and I'm thinking they actually want to take the fight to MVP in the third match. It's also something that matches up okay against Timbersaw. They could be seeing a dual aggressive lane here from MVP as they pick up the Undying. Very good against Shadow Demon. And I think the Lifestealer might struggle in that lane as well.
I like this as well. I mean, one thing you could just never underrate is the power of the Slardar Lifestealer bomb. You know, once Slardar has a blink, Lifestealer has Armlet, Echo Saber, you amplify and jump on. I mean, even the tankier heroes, you do an insane amount of burst effectively.
Yeah, this is actually a good Tinker game.
Yeah.
And I know it was banned in the second game, picked in the first. If Vici wanted to go back for Ghost Tinker, this is a much easier game to run Tinker in. They have a reliable lockdown. If they want, they can last phase ban Storm.
Okay.
And force MVP to ban Tinker as well, and then they could take the Tinker if they want, obviously. If MVP decide not to do that. Because I think they're trying to save their mid until like the last possible pick. Seems like both teams are kind of doing the same thing.
Well, fourth pick now, Vici Gaming, and will they hold that mid off until the end and grab that secondary support? As you mentioned, obviously Dazzle there. DDC, we saw him on Witch Doctor last game. Witch Doctor is still available if they do want to have some kind of sustain for the pushes in the fighting.
You know who I haven't seen? I haven't seen Coddle all day either.
Oh, we haven't actually, not in this series, no. Yeah.
Really good against Timber and lane. Would allow the Shadow Demon to pretty much do what he wanted. Oh, they're going to go for the Invoker, okay.
Okay, so that is going to give, yeah, MVP the chance now to think of banning out a support instead. Maybe the Vici Gaming just worried that the MVP may have banned out Ghost Invoker, so wanting to grab it at this time.
I mean, it's really good. Cold Snap's great against Timber. It adds a lot of damage to fights. You can... I mean, this game, I think it would probably be Exort just because it synergizes so well with Amplified Damage and Shadow Demon. Being able to get like those Blink Initiations and the Sun Strikes and Meteors and whatnot. It's the combos are just... they're juicy on the side of Vici at the moment. Also means they could kill Roshan very, very easily. Whereas MVP, again, have another lineup where killing Roshan is not really something that they're going to be able to do. But they do have the capability of winning the lanes and fighting.
Just the question really of which support MVP are most scared of. I mean the ones that are coming to mind, maybe even the Venge Dazzle. Or the Witch Doctor. MVP taking their time with this. I mean, would you say there's a particular one that kind of most strikes out to you? I mean, even things like Disruptor, is that something we could see come in now?
Disruptor is good against Timber. The tricky thing is they actually have a lot of options.
Yeah.
It doesn't... There's a lot of heroes that would work in their draft, and that just is owed to the fact that they have a lot of other heroes that are strong in their own regards. Like, they don't actually, need that much to function. So when you're looking at their lineup, it's, I guess, more just what you don't want to have to play against. And playing against that mid-pressure, we saw how hard it was for Ghost earlier, and it looks like MVP don't want to have to deal with that roaming Mirana either, so they're just going to go ahead and ban it out. I think that's a pretty good ban. Because that way you can pick Huo a matchup where he feels comfortable in. And then you just say, alright, just do what you can, try to win your matchup. Because I think MVP are very dependent on winning their lanes at the moment. Like, if that Undying +1 in the off lane doesn't do anything, and they're not able to pressure at all, I think that Vici might be able to walk away with another victory here in Game 3.
Vici now with that final pick.
Are you DC'd, by the way? Because I am DC'd, I think, from the game.
Oh, I'm still in. Oh!
Now we'll see if I can.
No, you are correct. It is timing down. I have just been kicked.
DC'd.
I got banned. Right, no worries, though, because I can show the Chinese stream. Look at that. Whoa. No downtime here at all on the stream.
I wish I could load the Mars TV site. That would be awesome.
Oh, well, that's weird. On the Chinese stream, they have it so the pics are kind of mirrored. So they've reversed it on the left. That's weird. But there we go, guys. So we can still see the final selections from both teams whilst it's down. We have it covered. Is it letting you reconnect, Andy?
No, I can't get back in.
Oh, boy. After several attempts to connect, the server did not respond. Hello, server.
Perfect world?
Well, we saw the final. It was the Witch Doctor. So DDC going for the Witch Doctor again, as we saw in Game 2. And as we said,
it actually makes a lot of sense.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you have the amp as well, so your ward's going to be hitting super hard. And it's just more lockdown as well. I do think that overall, I like Vici's draft a little bit more again. Probably not as lopsided, obviously, as it was in Game 2, but in the grand scheme of things, I think they just have a more balanced draft. I also like scaling physical damage a lot more when you're going for these lineups that want to fight. Because it's really hard to just build a BKB and feel safe into those types of lineups when you have like Slardar and whatnot. Makes it very hard to itemize.
Oh. Are you managing to reconnect, Andy?
Oh god, no! I'm
nope.
not back in the game.
I'm restarting Durr. I'm going to try that.
I'm pretty sure we just both got banned from Perfect World.
What the hell? Yeah, what? Maybe the Russian dub was too much for them.
I mean, I can't even load the Mars TV page to watch the game. So I'm kind of at a loss here.
I mean, I bet we might have to buy a ticket, Andy. That might be if we can't reconnect. Oh, oh no. Why has it kicked us? What is this?
I'm not sure.
Maybe, well, maybe it's maybe the Chinese having the same issue. Maybe they were. No, they've not got the issue. The game has begun.
Oh, and they're like by the servers. We are not. We are on the other side of the wall. I am. You're a bit closer than I am, but.
God damn it! Oh, I've got to buy a ticket.
Just some good old Dota 2.
Right. Where are we? Watch. Oh, I don't have to buy a ticket. I don't have to buy a ticket. Andy, I'm just spectate the thing. I think that's the best option.
Okay.
If we can't get in. Sorry if you wanted to listen to in-game commentary. Oh, look, we can listen to ourselves.
It's the 2015 Mars TV, right?
Oh, it's on a delay. Oh my
Of course
God.
It's on a delay. It's in-game spectating.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't...
Oh, never mind. It's the 2016 one. Duh. Okay.
Are you in, Andy?
I'm loading. I don't know if that means I'm going to load.
Okay. Whoa, there's some funky split screen there. It's alright though. We can see it on the Chinese stream.
Okay, yeah, I'm in. Do this. Oh, they picked TA. Interesting.
It's not letting me reconnect. What the hell?
Dude, I'm just watching through Dota TV now.
I won't let me connect to it.
You can't even watch the in-game client.
No, I'm trying to get the. I mean, at the moment we can see it on the Chinese stream.
Oh, I'm in. I connected to the other one.
I'm back in now. Right.
So
now,
it looks like...
what's the best option? Do we want to watch in crappy quality? Oh, actually, no, you can't see that. No, okay, so guys, we're just going to have to do it from this. So, unfortunately, we will be casting on delay. But,
yeah.
So, apologies. Hopefully, just for this game. Hopefully, next series it will be fine. But, we're back to the draft. As I'm sure you can see as well. Andy, you're in, aren't you?
Yeah, we're like a minute and 20 into the game, right?
Oh, you... I just got
what?
DC. Did you just get DC?
No. I mean, I'm lagging like crazy. I can barely tell what's going on, but I'm in the game.
Oh my God.
All I'm going to say is they picked TA into Slardar Lifestealer, and that's a manly move from MVP. Right, very manly.
Right, we're in. Oh, wait, there's no delay. What? Andy, I think I'm magically... back in the casting one.
Is there a box in the top right?
Oh yeah, there is. So there is, but there's no delay. I am 2 minutes into the game.
LAN. I don't think there's delay.
No, but there was on the draft. The draft was 2 minutes behind.
That's weird. I don't know, man. Who knows?
Who knows? Oh well, we are somehow back in. There is no delay. The Chinese overlords have had mercy on us, and we're in the game.
Client Delta ticks out of server. I don't even know what that means. All right.
Oh, you got kicked out again?
Yeah, I'm not in the game.
Alright, well we're in. It is rather laggy, which is probably the same problem you had.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see how it goes. We haven't missed a kill yet. That's always good news. But we could try to settle in. Fix the sound. The sound is fine, you muppets. What do you mean the sound? Gaben loves BTS, but we are losing a few frames here. Maybe it will get better. We'll have to hold a bit more on with this one. Looks like it's kind of flared up the firewall and it's made it a little bit harder for this game. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the lane. So over on the side of MVP, we'll have Febby. At the moment, it's on the top lane. You got Ryzen moving around the map on Oracle mid lane. QO on the TA. In fact, in a bit of trouble at the moment, it's Ghost. Yeah, fine, trying to make a bit of a go, but Dubu, the man in the Undying, TP's across to save him up. And bottom lane, Velo once again on Timbersaw. Over on the side of VG, and he's moved himself to the bottom lane on the Lifestealer. Mid lane, Ghost on Invoker. Up towards the top. FY supporting on Shadow Demon. DDC on the Witch Doctor mid lane. Let's just watch that as QO actually ends up going down. Dubu unable to save him. And first blood going the way of Ghost at the same time. Top lane looks to be Vici trying to make more happening. They're moving on to Febby with the crush. Paralyzing Cask. He's going to go down as well. It's a second kill for Vici Gaming. And just like that, bam. 2 kills for the side of VG.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I already said I favored Vici's draft from the get-go, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, what MVP's actual game plan is. Because sure, the TA Invoker matchup is alright for TA, but during the mid-game, Slardar just dominates you so hard, and you kind of want to buy BKB, but buying BKB against Slardar isn't really that good. There's a Shadow Demon as well. It just seems like there's so many things that they have to deal with this, and you're going to have an Undying who's supposed to be applying, like, a ton of pressure, but the way that Vici have laned it, they're kind of avoiding that pressure altogether. Like, their Slardar and their Lifestealer are both getting a ton of farm. And I think that MVP are already at this point where they've formed this tri-lane, and they're going to try to do what they can to pressure and make sure that Fibby gets his own farm. But I don't know, man. This seems really sketchy to me.
I mean, top lane, Vici wrapping around. A little bit more wary of fighting now that MVP do have the full 3-man up top. Obviously, we saw Dubu and Rising kind of moving around the map, but now kind of settling down on this top lane, as you said, just trying to secure just a lane that's going to be going their way. But as you said, elsewhere across the map, it's not looking good for MVP. Velo, though, again, I mean, he's having the start that he needs, and he can pull it out of the bag. Just obviously, that's going to be enough for MVP. Top lane. Yang is trading hits with Fairby. The 2 supports still continuing to try and make a go on each other. Bottom, actually towards the mid lane. DDC with a wraparound. I'll see if they can catch out QO. That is a hard one. He maybe see if he can snipe a courier. He's very close to walking around at the same time. Looks like he's just going to go for a bit of control around the Ancients. As indeed the Ancients have started to be stacked up by MVP. So QO will have that very nice catch-up potential.
Yeah, QO or Febby, whichever. Whoever
oh
wants
yeah,
it.
I guess yeah.
Top lane again.
Yeah, talking about Febby, the setup's there. It's the Crush. He'll put the war cry. Try and fight back into this one. Yang fairly low, trying to get himself away. They've taken the Tombstone. There's the Stormhammer. Yang, he's going to fall. They'll take one. Now looking for FY for the cast. Actually for DDC saving the Shadow Demon by the looks of it. A great cast bounce is holding MVP back, but MVP, they got away with 1 kill. Maybe 6 stacks on him at the moment. In fact, Febby just going back in, looking for FY. They'll get another. And they may even get DDC as well, chasing him. I haven't got the mana to throw anything down on him.
Oh, poison. Oh my god.
Okay, I mean, he did have 6 stacks on him. I guess, yeah, Oracle was kind of out of the tank to save him by the looks of it. So a little bit of an awkward death there for Febby at the end of it all.
He had mana. Good. He had mana. He just didn't... I don't think Febby realized how many stacks he had.
Bottom lane, look at this as well. TP rotation from Yang straight back into the bottom. For the backup of FY, looking to punish Velo. They should get it here. The Disruption Sunstrike combo, a little off the mark, but it doesn't matter. Crush from Yang there to seal the deal. As they'll find themselves another one down bottom. So, you know, as quickly as MVP find themselves 2 kills, Vici Gaming take down 2 cores in return.
I think Vici just had a bit of miscommunication, because when they engaged on top, DDC wasn't actually in position to fight. He was like off in the woods somewhere.
Febby be in trouble. Sunstrike combos on point, and Vici Gaming again getting another TP down is there from Dubu. Drops the Tombstone. Yang backing up. Can't chase anyone here. Miller does have the Chakram, but Vici Gaming just a little bit too far away, and immediately, you know, just in the other lane, space being created. DDC, he's going to get himself a nice tasty bit of gold and get himself on the way to that level 6. And mid lane, Ghost versus QO. Very even at the moment. QO 35 for 11. And Ghost 33 for 19. And of course, QO, if it does go his way, does have the Ancients to fall back on. As you said, it's all going to be down to whether they do get that to the TA or if they give that to Febby on the Sven.
I think more often than not, you probably want to give it to the Sven.
Yeah.
Unless you really want the TA to get a quick blink. That's the other thing, too. Or you could just go with the club mentality of I stack it, I kill it, which means your QO would kill it. I think that it's still winnable for MVP, obviously. Like, Velo is still getting a lot of farm, even though he ended up dropping there. They had to commit a lot to take down the Timber, even at this early stage, but I think that Vici's movements just show that they're feeling confident, you know. They have a ton of damage. A disruption into a Sunstrike with a Slardar there is pretty much going to kill almost anyone.
Trying to have a bit of a go to FY. The TP's coming through. Actually, TP cancelled, but it's enough to stop MVP from going too deep. As they're unable to really do anything too much, apart from just push onto the tower. At the same time, though, there's so much space on this top lane, it feels like MVP have pretty much all but forgotten about this lane. And now the one to get a lot of space. You can see QO coming through. Up hot on his heels, Yang and TDC with a rotation. QO, he's trying to make a go. But here's the backup for Vici Gaming, and QO, no way he lives through this one. Febby will TP him, maybe he can turn it. Has he got enough damage? Doesn't quite look like it, and can he get out? Turns around, no, he's down. They do find the kill on the lifestealer now, chasing down Yang as well. The zombies working their way in. Cutting forward, Chakram not quite hitting the point as Yang looking to juke this one out. He's deep on enemy territory. Below still chasing Yang. I don't think he gets his way out of this one, and he can't. The Chakram cuts him down. So MVP, they may have lost QO, but this time they do find 2 quickly in return.
It was kind of a nice idea they had. They did the double smoke to bait out the lifestealer top, and QO ends up falling for it. But in the end of the day, MVP end up with the favorable exchange. And that's the kind of stuff they need. Like, make sure that your Timbersaw is committing to these fights in the early game. Like, Velo's already got Arcane, Soul Ring, and 1200 gold, so he is on track for his very early Bloodstone, probably like 16 minutes in or something like that. And once he gets it, he's going to be the guy you're looking to deal a lot of this damage. Like, Lifestealer is probably the only hero on the team who doesn't really care so much about Timber, as long as his rage is timed properly. But the rest of them can be cut down fairly easily. And you do have a Sven stun to set up a lot of his combo damage, so that's going to be the thing that's kind of carrying MVP here until QO and Febby can get to a stage where they're relevant just based on items.
I mean, obviously, yeah, she's talking about how Velo can kill them. How easy is it for Vici Gaming to kill the Timber if he gets her?
It's not super hard. The only thing that matters really is getting the amp on him and then the Sunstrike landing. If those 2 things happen, and you know Ryzen's not there for a save, it should pretty much be a dead Timber.
Got QA trying to sneak in the mid lane, but the sentry's down. DDC has got a death ward. If they get some good bounces in between him and the Carty, they will. A lot of damage being laid down onto QA, but he is going to be saved for the time being by Ryzen. The wraparound for Febby. Chunks down DDC, now moving towards FY. They did still end up losing QO as he popped to the damage post-false promise. Velo going in deep, eyeing up the Shadow Demon. He should be able to finish this one off, and indeed with the help of Ryzen's Purifying Flames, they will. So they get 2 for 1. There's 2 supports, though, for QO on the TA, and QO, of course, as we can see, really suffering this game, as he has not got the farm at the moment that he needs. But nonetheless, MVP, with the numbers favouring them, they'll look to find this tier 1. TPs are coming through for Vici Gaming. They're going to be able to do a job at holding it, and heads in. And already MVP backing off, so unable to get the tower either here in this mid lane.
I think Vici are maybe getting a little bit too overzealous. Like, just wait until Yang has Blink, because once that happens, then you can really abuse the Lifestealer bombs. You can guarantee the Sunstrikes are going to land. You can pop pretty much any hero on the side of MVP very fast. It looks like they're going to go for another smoke play here.
Let's see what they can catch. FY. Either way, I mean, maybe Roshan. That's going to be the play here. They're going to go for Roche. They could do it fairly quickly, but at the same time, MVP, no, look at them. They're heading straight over. Can they take that big fight here, though, QO? He's the one on the front at the moment. And then can the Amplify. Velo comes in with a 3-man Chakram. Now with the Storm Hammer onto Ghost. Velo putting himself out. Febby chasing down Ghost and END. On the back lines of it all, DDC and FY were able to find the kill onto Dubik. QO working his way through FY. FY is going to be taken down. The nuke from Ryzen finishing him off. They'll chase down DDC as well. They're going to get themselves a 3rd. And MVP with the perfect timing there, turning up to the Roche pit. With 3 men down, I mean, with QO's mount, they may be able to take this for themselves. Yeah, Febby coming in as well. It's not going to be super quick. I mean, you can see Vici Gaming, they want to contest it still. And what's his plan here? He's just going to go past it. Looks like they're just going to leave it. Ghost sending in the Forge Spirits. Cold Snap down onto Ryzen. They'll stop MVP from taking it themselves. Can they get any kills from it, FY? Disrupts QO. You see Ghost fighting it up with Dubu back towards the river. They've managed to bring down one. End going to work. Moving in onto QO. The Sunstrike's on point. They'll take down the TA. So again, just where it feels like MVP find their footing. They lose 2. and they will lose the Roshan as well. Just maybe getting a bit ahead of themselves. They're trying for Roche after winning that team fight.
Yeah, it's too early in the game to do stuff like that. Like, the Roche still had like 60% health, and
yeah,
the respawn timers are just so fast that Vici had plenty of time to TP back to the tier 1 when it was still standing, and then just go back right into the pit. And the time that End bought with the... He went to go get a Centaur, he went back in, and then I think he caught out the Oracle with a Stomp and just straight up killed him on the back line while the other fight was happening between QO and Yang and the rest of Vici. They just managed to delay it, and unfortunately... Oh, middle lane.
Alright, Yang. It's been gone on. Can he get his way out of this one? Doesn't look like he can. One more nuke from Ryzen in again. Oracle been absolutely on point with dropping these Purifying Flames. He's 5-1-6. It's been a very clean game for him at the moment. Bottom lane. Vici will in turn take a tower. Get some sort of a trade. At the same time, MVP as well as finding that kill. On the verge of getting themselves a tier 1 for the top lane. As the three of them, Ryzen, Dubu and Velo, join forces to take that one down. 11 for 10. It feels close at the moment, but as we can see that in terms of net worth, the slight favouring to Vici Gaming, but it is very, very tight at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's still anyone's game. The real issue is going to come when BKB Blink is on the Slardar and stuff like that. We're very far away from that point, obviously, because at this point Yang doesn't even have a Blink. DDC scouting out QO here, just keeping tabs.
He tried to go for a sneaky solo kill with the cast, the Death Ward, and a Sunstrike coming in. But of course, the Sunstrike not quite on point. The mini stun of the cast, not really enough to set it up. So QO walks it all off.
Now this is a lot of this game again is still going to be on Velo for a while. Like QO and Febby, they're farming alright, but they're not quite up to the point where they're feeling, you know, confident standing in these fights. I mean, poor QO has had a really hard game. He's died 4 times. That's just what you do when you play against Slardar, though, because he just amps you, and you're just like, well, Meld doesn't do anything for me defensively anymore, and Slardar plus Lifesteal are really good at man fighting. And then they just get in your face and you can't really do much.
And I think what's that coming out in the courier is, yeah, indeed, Yang on the Slardar's Blink Dagger. So the tools for that combo coming together, Armlet done on End. He's got 2.3k gold on top as well. I mean, I imagine he goes for the Echo Saber here. Is there a chance he goes for anything else like a Deso first? Let's see. Nah, it's going to be the Echo. So that's the combo build.
It's really, really strong when you have Amp as well. The amount of damage that you deal with a double hit and having the Armlet toggled on is just insane. I think that you pretty much insta-kill, like the Oracle, for example. Undying probably dies super fast as well.
Oh, here we have it. Vici Gaming wanting to utilize that combo straight away. And MVP grouped up towards the mid. On the other side at the moment, so Vici Gaming aren't going to find anything down on this bottom lane. There's MVP just keeping it safe, grouping up together, making sure that Vici Gaming can't find the opening to just jump in and immediately eliminate a hero.
Yeah, MVP understand at this stage in the game that getting any picks and losing any more tier 1s could be catastrophic to their game plan. They still need quite a bit of farm before they're going to feel confident in fighting. They're going to go for a smoke play of their own.
We'll see if they get latch on. So Ghost is on his own in the jungle. I mean, Invoker would be a very nice pick for MVP to take. How quickly can Ghost react to this one? Ooh, quick enough. Ghost walks there. He's out. And now off the back of that, Vici, they know that there's a fight going on here. They want to join it. Going to approach the Tombstone first, and we may work without the Soul Rip. Makes it about a little bit more time for the Tombstone, but it's still there. Have a chase. Crush. So the damage! But false promise comes through. I mean, surely he is going to die. I don't think enough heals in the world are going to be there. Oh! Okay. Did it work? Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, he lives.
Oh, the Temper lived, but unfortunately the Oracle didn't.
And only living for a short amount of time, maybe. Yeah, he's gone. So
wait, did he TP to the... Wait, what? No, I'm so confused.
The Timber TP'd, but the Shadow Demon, the Shadow Demon cancelled the TP.
Oh, okay. I'm lagging so bad. I didn't even see that. Like, I see like 1 frame maybe every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little bit laggy.
Bottom lane, Febby. See you later.
Oh, we nearly caught that, Frank.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying, though. You know, Vici's lineup, they have a lot of really good ways of taking fights. Their picking potential is insane. They scale well. It's all physical damage scaling for the most part. So BKB purchases aren't really going to have the same kind of impact for MVP as they will for Vici, who are, you know, MVP are relying on Timbersaw damage, they're relying on Sven stun, and I guess to a lesser extent the Oracle and the Undying, but it's still doable for MVP. The biggest thing I think is trying to get QO some item. Like just having a blink right now at almost 20 minutes in as a TA is definitely not where you want to be. The Sven still needs blink and BKB as well. If they can get to those items without losing too much more, I think that they can turn this, but it ain't gonna be easy.
No, it certainly isn't. 15 for 10. Vici Gaming with the lead. No. The camera actually is rubbish from the Chinese. We're trying to use the Chinese stream, and I'm sorry, but they're missing everything. Now they're on it. A bit of a chase down onto Slada. Going to get him in the river. Chakram's going to be juked out. He blinks up, but the Stormhammer's there. Bevy with the beat down. Bam! I'll take him.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the beginning of that, but they were trying to kill Vilo in the woods. They went for the same combo they did on Febby bottom, whereas the Slaughter and the Lifestealer. Unfortunately, the vision they had in the woods didn't reveal the other heroes of MVP who were standing right behind the timber, and they just got counter-ganked.
MVP now pushing down the mid lane onto the tier 2 fortification. Comes out from Vici Gaming. Eyes on to end. Still standing at the front of this all. With timber chains away. The tower will go down. MVP get the objective. And they'll get themselves out as well.
You know, all things considered, they're doing a very good job at holding on. Against these types of lineups that Vici have, it's easy to kind of get, you know, frustrated, try to get too much farm out of the map and end up getting picked off like over and over again. And that's kind of what happens when you have three very farm-heavy cores. Like Sven, TA, and Timber all want to be farming creeps at the same time. But when you do that, you just have to assume that one of them is going to be ganked, right? Because the Yang plus N combination is going to come in, and then a Sunstrike on top of that. But they're holding on. It's going to take a while, though. Really need BKBs. Really need Deso on the TA. Need Blink on the TA. Need Blink on the Sven. There's a lot of items left.
I mean, if you have to get that Deso first on TA. You don't think there's any chance QO feels forced to get the BKB before?
If he gets the BKB and he relies on stun damage, I guess it's okay. But I think you really want Deso because of how much damage and how much of a threat it actually makes you in a fight. And the other thing too is, we talked about how BKB is both a necessary evil in this game for him, and also not really that great just because of Amp. Like, as soon as you get Amp as TA, if you don't have BKB and Manta, you're kind of just like, well, I'm pretty much gonna die to right clicks. And that's just how Vici's team functions, so. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. BKB is kind of needed, but at the same time, you don't want to buy it.
Oh, I can see down on the bottom of FY was pushing the lane in. It did cause the attention of MVP to head down here, but he's already out. And yeah, indeed, QA just a couple of hundred away from Deso. And I mean, in this game, is there a bit of a timer for either side? I mean, there's no, I mean, obviously there's no Terrorblades, Nagas, and
I actually think with the way that the Slardar is building, the Ultra late game will probably favor MVP.
Yeah.
Just because the Slardar's going from more of like the off-lane slash support Slar who buys like these mobility items. So I think that if they can keep farming, then yeah, like Timber, Sven, and TA cores will be very, very dangerous.
With the smoke up, they're going to be able to find Vilo on the front of this. They're going to try and make a go on it. If they can remove the Timber Saw at the start, it'd be a great beginning, but there we go. There's the jump, Yang. The crush. Sunstrike as well, but Heavy coming on the back lines. He chunks down one. Now they'll cut through Yang as well. By the looks of it, he's trying to juke this out, but the chase down's there. MVP finding 2 easy kills, losing nothing in return for it. In fact, Vilo may not have even been done then. They'll drop down the slow. MVP again with a very successful fight. They'll take the tier 2. With 2 men down, they may even try and push for more.
That was a really nice jump, catching one of the supports in the back. Oh, FY.
He'll get the disruption out, but with the chakram down, Vilo finishes him off there, and it's suddenly falling to pieces very quickly for Vici Gaming. And he's going to come in, looking to fight into Timbersaw, but the damage is just absolutely tiny at this point compared to Velo's armor. As the tier 3 falls, MVP, they will back it off, play it safe, count their cards. They don't want to go in too heavy. They don't fill in any rush at the moment.
That was super fortunate, actually, that they managed to get that opening. I mean, at this stage, you know, after fights like that, when you get the power, you get a lot of kills. The 3 cores on the side of MVP are starting to pull ahead, and they're getting closer to those items that are going to make them hit that huge power spike. You know, the multiple blink daggers, the BKBs and whatnot. Once that happens, oh god, Ghost.
Febby. Can't quite finish it. Yang's looking for the counterplay. He's coming in and he's got lifesteal on board. They'll jump out, but Yang just getting ripped to pieces by Kuo. Febby still alive here, being healed up by the team. Finally drops. MVP, they're not done it, and tries for the TPI. He's not going to make it. Ryzen gets the nuke. 3 dead on Vici Gaming. Velo and Kuo moving in for more. FY's out for the count. 4 dead, no buybacks. They only lose Febby and MVP. Now look for the Brax on the bottom lane. There's no fortification either. Still on cooldown for Vici Gaming. And MVP might even be able to get a little bit more here. We'll see what the plan is. It's going to be Rax and back. Not going to try for anything towards the mid at the moment.
They can Roshan's up as well, I think. Yeah,
just play it safe.
They have the TA with the Deso. Oh no, they're going to TP out. I mean, technically Kuo can solo it, but with the Slardar and the Witch Doctor being alive, I don't know if he has enough time. That turned extremely fast, though. I mean, the fight in the bottom lane, and then Vici trying to re-engage after the fact and not respecting how much physical damage they can do with the Deso on the TA and God Strength. Like, DDC dies instantly during that last fight, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the cleave damage that Febby was doing also hit multiple members of Vici. So they had, like, a perfect initiation after the reveal of the Blink Dagger, which Vici were clearly not ready for.
No.
And then they lose that fight. They get the tier 3. And then they re-engage and lose another fight, and then they lost their racks. That was like a super fast turnaround for MVP.
Oh boy, an MVP. They can feel their power. They want to try and fight again. Moving in, Febby goes for the stun. He's going to get it onto FY. Gets forced back. Will hold back Febby for the time being, but Velo is in deep. Actually, the Tornado are going to catch this Timbersaw, but can they actually kill him? I mean, he's out. And the answer, by the looks of it, is no at the moment. Sunstrike, it's not going to clip him either. Ryzen, very early false promise on himself there. Febby just clears them back. So MVP not finding the kill, but at the same time, as we see Vici Gaming, the least they can do is just hold them back. They can't really punch back at MVP, and all this has done really is allowed MVP the space to head into the Roshan pit and take it down almost certainly before Vici Gaming get there. Kuo still with a bit of a remainder on the DD as well. So it's going to be a very quick Rosh. And it's going to be very hard for Vici Gaming to deal with.
Yeah, how fast this game turned was pretty ridiculous, actually. As you can see, Vici had a pretty sizable lead, and then they just lost so many heroes back to back that they went from leading by like 7,500 golden experience to just being incredibly far behind. And because of the time in the game where MVP gets this influx of golden experience, it just means that all the core items that they actually needed and were struggling to farm, they all of a sudden have now. Like this Sven showcasing the Blink, you know, he's more than halfway to BKB already. The TAs decided to just completely forgo buying BKB because he's like, okay, well, we just, you know, won these 2 fights super hard, I'll just buy an AC instead. And oh, excuse me, he has a full BKB, not heavy. I didn't actually see the other items on the courier, but yeah, those are the kinds of turnarounds that you have when you're playing against a super aggressive team like MVP, who even when they're behind, they don't like to just sit on their laurels, you know, they still go for plays.
MVP, I see that tier 2 standing in the top lane, and they want it gone. Making the push up top. Vici Gaming getting a little bit more, like N does now have the Deso, but as you're saying, they're just comparatively far behind apart from this Invoker. Ghost has to do a lot of heavy lifting in these fights. And obviously at the moment, 206, he himself has been having quite the performance. But it doesn't seem enough to hold back MVP at this stage of the game. As MVP certainly feel like they've got full control at the moment.
Yeah, they have the level 4 Warcry now, and they're going to have a full AC soon. Or no, wait, he just bought a Moonshard, never mind. Alright. That's a Kuo thing, I guess. But the plus armor from Febby is helping them a lot during his engagements now. Okay,
oh, indeed. Straight onto Rise, and he's gone. Immediately removing Febby with a BKB, jumping forward. Looking for a target, but he can't quite find anyone to lock down upon. Looks like with one man down, MVP are actually going to back off this. Not wanting to fight without that Oracle, especially with Febby's BKB now on cooldown. And God's Strength soon to be wearing out. Well, he jumps back in, but FY with the defensive disruption. And pops the Rage, looking to chase down the Tombstone, but the Tombstone survives. Now N being forced back by Kua, who jumps in, will rip the Lifestealer to pieces. Velo comes in with the Chakram. DDC almost certainly going to drop here as well. Oh no, just about jukes it out. Yang bursted down by QO as well. It's 2 out for Vici Gaming. Buyback from Yang. They do manage to find Febby. They need to find more. QO's on the way out. Can Yang catch anyone here? He's searching desperately. Retreat is being made by Velo. In fact, QO, is he going to stick around and go for anything else now? They're getting out. They got the buyback out of them. They lost 2. So VG Gaming do defend, but it does cost them that buyback on Yang.
At this stage, it's kind of like the fresh BKB on the Sven. It was showcased there, not really utilized to his full effect. I think Febby maybe got a bit overzealous with his dive. But if Vici start off a fight like that and they kill a support instantly and they're still not able to really abuse it, I think it kind of shows, you know, how much the state of the game has flipped in favor of MVP. They did lose their tier 1 in the middle lane. I think 1 catapult pretty much killed it. But I don't think that they're going to be too deterred by that. And I guess it's kind of hard to tell what's happening in a lot of the fights, because first off, it's super freaking laggy. But I haven't really felt like the Invoker so much, barring like throwing out a couple of Sunstrikes and whatnot. I think it's going to be a while before he's really able to showcase Invoker utility in like the mid to late game fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's actually been a constant theme, by the way.
Yep.
Like Invoker is just not feeling that impactful. I don't know what it is. I mean, he's not like playing bad or anything. I just like he's 307, but I'm pretty sure like most of those kills were just him throwing out Sunstrikes.
Well, as you said, he's going to need to step it up in these team fights. And I mean, in terms of items, what he's trying to get that Shiva's Guard done next by the looks of it.
Yeah, I would assume so.
So then we can.
I mean, it could be an AC as well, but.
Crosswax, Yang tries to lift the crush, doesn't find it. Velo forcing them back. Febby just popping the God Strength, hitting the structures now at this point. Forces the fortification out. Velo taking a lot of magical damage here. The False Promise comes in just in time. With the Sorrow, we'll see if the heals are enough. Febby backing up. Ryzen nearly being taken down by a stray Sunstrike. Velo's going to be healed back up to full. So he will survive through this. Let's see if they want to go in again. DDC as well used the Death Ward there for that defense. So he's not going to have that now for this time round. Febby, of course, concentrates on cooldown. Yang jumps in. They're going to have the Lifestealer there as well, trying to go for Febby, but the BKB's pop. Zorib heals there as well, and forced back. Stun onto Yang, holding him away, so Febby will be able to finish off the tier 3. And moving forward, seeing if he can find himself a target. Yang can't quite find the crush. They'll actually burst down QO there with the Shadow Poison. Velo left behind, Lotus Orbs out on him. Tries to get the Timber Chain out, but he actually misses it. Being held back here, Yang hits the crush. Velo in a lot of trouble, and chomping through him. Hasn't quite got the damage though. Velo's going to be saved by Ryzen. Stun from Febby, holding back end. Vici Gaming move forward. Yules onto Febby. Febby could be in trouble, trying to get himself out of this. Goes stand end, focusing the Sven. Meteors drop down, but again, the False Promise from Ryzen keeps Febby alive. He'll survive through this, continues to punch. There's the Tornado. It's going to be enough damage, and this time Ghost has turned up to the fight. He cleans it up for the team. Velo still playing around on the back lines. He'll simply go for the blink and TP out. But an absolute bloodbath as Vici Gaming hitting hard there on the defensive. And MVP, they're starting to slip.
Yeah, that was a really nice fight for the Invoker. He started off by forcing the False Promise on the Velo. He dropped the Tornado Meteor on him, and it just forces him to pop the ult straight away. Sure, Velo went back up to full health, but that opened up the opportunity for Vici to go for another engagement, you know, go for the Sven, start the fight that ended up not only defending, but got them, what, 4 kills, right? Because I think the only person who didn't die was the Timber. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you're really looking for. And as the BKB on Febby gets lower and lower, it's going to be more effective. This this Invoker is going to have on the fights. And I think that MVPs still technically scale a bit better just because they have more cores. But in these fights, they're just getting outplayed. Like Vici have the better coordination. They're able to chase almost indefinitely just because of having heroes, you know, like Yang on the Slardar and like Invoker with the mobility items that he's purchased, just having that movement speed and being able to chase. So yeah, it's very quickly becoming the Ghost game here on the side of Vici.
I mean, in response to that MVP, do you feel, have they just got to wait for another item before they try for that again? I mean, Febby, AC, next on the list. Or do they have to still try?
I don't know if they need another item, but it wouldn't hurt. I mean, Vici are still feeling pretty, you know, apprehensive about leaving their base. They don't really want to try to go for any crazy plays. I'm guessing if they do, it's going to be because Roshan is going to be on the table for both teams here in a couple of minutes. When that comes up, I would expect Vici to make a move, because I don't think they can afford to let MVP get it at this stage, given how farmed their tri-core lineup is right now. But yeah, I would guess for the time being that they probably just smoke up and try to defend Rush.
Just kind of slowing down the pace now, MVP. Waiting for that timing. And Vici gaming. AC nearly done on end. He just sees well the recipe gold as well now, as he's got enough of the plate now. And did he have that already on the courier? No, he didn't. Actually, another Yule's coming out. Yang building the Yule's up as well. So see, obviously on Ghost and Yang as well. Look at these setups and looking just to take one of these people out of the fight as well. This game's certainly getting a little bit harder for MVP. They still have the lead, but at this point of the game, 35 minutes in, it's not a massive one.
Yeah, it's still anyone, really, who can take this. Roshan's going to be scouted here by Vici, so they know what's up. I'm assuming MVP are probably going to make their way down there relatively soon. Vici with the Amplify can kill it fast, but they might be feeling more comfortable if they take a fight first. We'll see what happens. Alright, MVP are actually not... Okay, there's the smoke. It's going to be too late, though. No way they make it.
This is a very, very quick Roshan, of course. Vici going to have this for the next fight. And who are they going to give it to? They're going to give it to End. Yeah, they are. They'll drop it on the lifestealer. So End ready for the next engagement. They'll actually scan out MVP smoke as well.
Oh, they want to catch Velo.
Velo, yeah, coming in straight away onto DDC. And they'll get one. That's the gem on the deck. End running pretty quickly here to QO's right.
He doesn't have any help.
Yang comes in for a bit of backup, gets the crush to hold back QO, but Dubu and Febby already moving in for more. The tombstones drop down. Velo's going to come in, chunk Yang. Yang's out. The Aegis from End hits the deck. Can they kill him a second time? They're surrounding him here. He'll pop the rage, try and back out. Velo will finally go down. And now Febby comes in onto Ghost. Invoker. Oh, the Ghost Walk. Saving himself and End. He's actually going to get himself away. They do have a sentry here. And no one's going to come up in position. Buyback comes out from DDC. As I think MVP, they're just going to have their focus on the structures. But a very narrow escape there from Ghost and End, keeping themselves alive.
It was really weird because Vici didn't seem to be on the same page about how they wanted to retreat. They're going to go on Febby here.
So they can do it. The walls drop down, but Febby, all staffed away. He'll be right. Look at QO in position. Actually going to get caught up by the Deafening Blast. In fact, QO, yeah, needs to be safe. False Promise comes through. And held back by the Fortune's End. Febby moves in with a BKB. QO. He's taken down the Invoker. Buyback immediately from Ghost. And in the midst of it all, she's going to be able to find the crush. And they'll take down QO. Febby falling low as well. They'll lose the Sven and the TA. Vici game again. Anything more? Velo. Chaining out. Come back in. Burst the Lightstealer down. A big kill for Velo. But he's being focused by both the supports. DDC and FY trying to take him. Velo sorts himself, comes across. Chakram onto Yang, but the crush is there. They'll lose a fourth MVP. Vici Gaming again successful on the defensive.
I mean, MVP's team is really bad at retreating when their cores are not alive, right? So TA and Sven are committal-based heroes. You go into the fight, you pop your abilities, and you just fight. And you fight until either you die or they die. Running away from Vici's lineup is not really... It's not going to work. So when they commit to those types of fights, they force buyback. Sure, it's alright, but I think they're committing too heavily. They maybe were overexcited at the fact that they managed to take the Aegis off of End pretty much right after he got it. And if Vici had just been together after Roshan went down, instead of doing this like weird, everyone runs in a different direction, pathing back to base, I think it probably would have been even more lopsided. But for now, I mean, MVPs still have very farmed cores. It's just that, you know, they've given Lifestealer quite a bit in the last couple of engagements. Like, I mean, I guess in that fight he got a couple of kills, but he's starting to become more and more of a threat. And the item progression on Febby has kind of stopped, whereas the Lifestealer just bought an AC.
Absolutely, and in the next fight as well. It's going to really make a big effect. A lot of it's down to Yang hitting the crushes, and in the recent fights he certainly has, just allowing BG Gaming to just chunk into the opponents and make it hard for MVP to stand against them. We'll see what the movement is next from Vici Gaming. They do have to be careful with that top lane exposed. And they may try, are they trying for a smoke here? They're kind of grouping up now. They're just going to, just moving out. No smoke on them at the moment. And they got one on the courier. No, not as of yet. So just clearing the lanes out. And the side of MVP, again, just going to try and bring the wave round on the top lane and go for another push.
Yeah, the other thing too to note about the next fight is Ensil is holding on to cheese. So if they don't burst him properly, he might be able to get 2 rages off during a fight, which is a pretty big deal. It's a fairly long cooldown, but 2 rages pretty much means you're going to be getting kills, especially with the amount of damage that he does at this point. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go back for like a crit or something after this, or maybe MKB. He needs to be that really hard-hitting hero that can cut through the high armor of the Sven, and I guess Duo might be regretting his Moonshard choice right now.
I mean, talking about the Sven and the TA, who is it more important that you jump on and take out the first? Is it just the fact that the TA is doing more damage at the moment in these fights? You need to get rid of QA?
I think the Sven is scary because if he hits a multiple target stun, and he gets a couple of God Strength hits off, he does like way more damage than the TA can, potentially. But that's all dependent on how the fight goes, right? If he's getting the great cleave damage in, then yeah, he's gonna wreck. But either one of them, honestly, are great targets. I would be happy with jumping either of them. The only problem about jumping the Sven is he is much harder to kill, whereas if you just amp the TA, she kind of just falls over. So in regards to how much damage they deal versus how easy they are to kill, I'd say the TA is probably the best choice.
Well, Octarine done now, Ghost. And we have seen in the recent fights he's really been doing a heavy amount to control them. Now it's going to be even easier for him to do so. So, I mean, these pushes from MVP are going to get really hard. And as you said, a lot of it down to, as you mentioned earlier, just the BKB duration on Febby getting shorter and shorter. And so it's going to be very hard to just fight around the amount of control that they've got between the heroes on Vici.
It's still a hard situation for Vici though, because their other heroes they're falling behind a bit. Like, they don't have this tri-core lineup. They don't have 3 heroes who are able to just farm up the map. And they're also being forced to stay back in their base. They're getting less income because their barracks is down on the bottom lane. Still a very stressful situation for them. They need to win like another convincing base defense, I think, to really make their way back fully into this. Because, I mean, if you look at the lane equilibrium, it's like not a single one of their lanes are pushed past river.
No.
And this is all attributed to the fact that Sven, TA, and Timber all clear waves pretty quickly. You're going to shove the creep waves in. And without having a smoke or anything to make a movement out on the map, like Vici are just feeling a bit too scared.
Let's have a look up towards the top. There's Yang, thinking about the jumping, gets the crush off. No follow-up as of yet, as MVP do start to get themselves ready to push up onto the racks, but as we can see, just being very cautious about how they go about doing so. QA still got a bit of time for the DD, but the jumps there onto Velo, false promise immediately coming out from Ryzen. QA pops the BKB as well himself, he's trying to move in. Febby's just going to man up, try and take down the racks first. Velo built up successfully by the false promise, now the fortification comes out from VG, the jumping, crush onto Febby, but he's forced out. He'll be fine, and takes down the tombstone. Febby comes back in, gets the lockdown onto End, but End saved there by the defensive disruption. DDC falls low, finally goes down. QO will get bursted though. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment. And without their TA MVP, and they haven't managed to finish off the melee racks. End comes in, the crush from Yang, catching free right on the edge of it all. Velo's there with a burst, Yang falling low. Velo coming through, trying to finish this off. Did he get Yang? He's being kited up at the moment. The Chakram is not going to do it. End gets a triple kill. Ghost gets a double. MVP white. They can't finish off the melee racks. And again, it's another unsuccessful attempt at breaking that racks.
Yeah, Yang and Ghost played that fight exceptionally well. Like, Ghost got pretty much every single one of his spells off. Very nice ice wall when Febby was trying to retreat that ended up setting up the kill. And then Yang getting that 3-man crush on the back after MVP decided the fight was not really going their way. That's the kind of base defense that you need in this type of situation. Like, it needs to be decisive. You need to, like, 4 or 5-man wipe them, and that's going to be the kind of stuff that's going to allow them to actually push out the waves. Because against this kind of team like MVP, if you only kill, like, 1 or 2 heroes on the retreat, they're still going to push other waves, and you can't really ever apply pressure, but when you wipe them, no one's pushing the waves, and you can get everything going back in your favor and get objectives, so... Now Vici are looking to be in a really good spot, much better than they've been in like the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely storming down this mid lane. Just look, they're choking for the racks just disappear. They're coming forward. Yang picks up Ghost picks up N. Will Ghost walk away, but a very quick and easy melee racks they're taken by the side of Vici Gaming. On the plus side for MVP, they do still have these tier 2 standing, as you said, just because they've been consistently pushing out all lanes. But it is getting very scary for them now, and if we have a look at the net worth, it's swung back round, bang onto 0, and now heading into the territory of Vici having that lead.
I mean, MVP, they're still at a stage where all it's really going to take is one good engagement, and then forcing buybacks from Vici, or ultimately just getting racks, and they're going to get Roshan here. It's going to die real fast at this stage. But yeah, I mean, they still got, like, I would say 1 or 2 more pushes in them. And once that happens, then if they're not able to successfully, like, break the base, like, there's no tier 3 top, there's no range racks, so all they really have to do is go up there and they can just run at it, more or less.
Let's see if they can do it this time. Yang leading the way, and inside him. On the opening, they found a disruption. They're looking for it. Yang jumps in. Oh, and Ryzen's out. Oh, a second one as well. The damage from End at this stage is far too much for them to deal with. They're trying to play a velo. At the same time, QO looking for DDC. Can he actually get this kill? 1, 2. No, DDC's heals are too much. QO having to run himself away. At the same time, up towards the north, Velo being held back by the Yules, and he's found himself another Velo. The last man left standing. QO has that second life. But the disruption there from FY into the Crush Sunstrike combo, and QO is gone. 4 dead once again on MVP, and they just can't seem to win a team fight.
That was just really good decision making from Vici. They recognized the fact that, okay, that's going to be another cheese, it's going to be another Aegis, and we pretty much need to fight them before they get to our base. Because if they get to our base, then they're going to feel very confident in just hitting the racks, popping their cooldowns to kill it, and then just back off. And we can't afford to let that happen. So Yang jumps in, they just shred the back line of MVP immediately. The Oracle and the Undying die pretty much before they get a single spell off, and then it's pretty much a 3v5. And at that point, I don't care how farmed your cores are, you're not going to be able to win.
And VG, it looks like they're just going to go and try and go for the base. They obviously can't get any more racks. I mean, the speed that they take this, the buybacks are coming out. Velo in onto Yang. Velo popping the BKB. She managing to force them out for the time being. Goes for the Ghost Wall, brings End out of there. Velo still continues to chase. Eyes onto the Evoker. Not going to get him, Yang. Thinking about coming back in on this. He will. Jumps in. Oh! 2-man crush! The Meteor as well. End trying to go for Febby, but BKB's come out. The refresh for a Ghost. The Deafening Blast knocking them back, but they've lost the Shadow Demon. Duo falling down. Yang coming in. Febby still trying to man fight against the Lifestealer, who has been disarmed here. And falling low. Rage back up again in a second. Now he pops it again. Trying to go for Febby. Febby trying to look for the retreat. Mini blink off to the left, but the open wounds are there. But the damage is too much. Febby takes down End. There's a buyback from Yang. Buyback from End immediately. In response, QO is down and out for the count for 80 seconds. No buyback on the TA. Can Vici Gaming actually do anything with this?
The Lifestealer doesn't have pods, so they can't, yeah. The unfortunate part is they both fought back immediately. I think they wanted to just prolong the fight and try to get whatever they could out of QO's death, but the problem is with no bots, they can't get back into the fight fast enough. So, Yang doesn't have any, N doesn't have any. I mean, the support's obviously not going to have bots at this stage in the game, even though I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think FY can definitely afford it. It's got 3,000. But a nice defense there from MVP. They did have to expend the buyback and lost their TA, but it's worth it. Got to keep the base alive.
30 seconds. How much can Vici Gaming get done? They've got Yang and the DDC ready to push down the mid. Let's have a look. Let's see if they can do anything in time. It looks like MVP will be fortunate enough. QO is going to be back by the time that push reaches the base. As we can see in the net worth, it's really kind of been back and forth. MVP did have that hold, but it's pretty much all but lost now. Oh no! Velo caught out. He's going to try and get himself out of there, but FY with the demonic purge. He's absolutely surrounded. He's all on his own. He has to kill himself. And even with that Bloodstone at this stage of the game, he is down for a full minute. Buyback. He's just under 300 gold short of the money for it. 50 seconds without the Timber for MVP. Did you know they smoke up? They want to go in. They want to go in hard. They want to end this.
Yeah, this is not great territory for MVP here. One more bad engagement and it could just be game. I mean, at this stage, you know, it's 50 minutes in. Both teams kill the base extremely fast, so all it takes is one bad misplay. I'm pretty sure.
Look at MVP. I just.
Yeah, they know. They're just like, there's no freaking way we can die here. And if I think honestly, if the TA didn't buy Moonshard at that particular stage in the game and bought something else. I mean, I don't want to blame like a ton of it on that choice, but I'm pretty sure he's going to regret that.
It's still, as you said, yeah, just the falling behind and the fact that, I mean, Ghost is so rich on this Invoker. I mean, to the point where he's pretty much done. Is that, I mean, I guess what, instead of the Yules, you could pick up a Sheep Stick, or is there anything else you could do with this build?
Yeah, pretty much. There's just the Hex.
Yeah.
And then I guess he can buy Moonshard as well.
He's going for Lincolns.
Okay. Oh, for the Sven initiation, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
So they have a couple of ways of breaking Lincolns, but more often than not, what you're really worried about is Febby getting on you with God Strength and BKB. Because he doesn't actually have any items to escape. He's just got a decent amount of health and armor. But Sven doesn't really care about that. If he gets a crit or two, you're still going to die. So the Lincolns kind of alleviates that problem of that blink initiation that's just going to straight up kill you.
I mean, yeah, do you think Febby will swap out one of his items for the Daedalus next?
Yeah, maybe the Lifesteal. I don't know if the Satanic is really going to keep him alive.
Yeah.
If he gets unlucky and gets bashed or something, and his BKB is only at 5 seconds, I guess, yeah, he is going to bite Daedalus, so he's got the recipe in his stash right now. It's very hard to utilize Satanic against that kind of team. You can get Demonic Purge during BKB, it's 5 seconds magic immunity at best, Slardar Bash, Lifestealer damage is also crazy high.
I mean, for Vici Gaming at this stage as well, we've obviously seen them try to go down middle a bit. They cleared it out. Surely you got to look for the tier 2s now, or do you?
Yeah, you definitely need to kill them. I mean, there's always the chance that you can go for like some smoke, which is what MVP were expecting when they were sitting in their well. They thought that maybe that Vici were just going to run down mid and try to fight them in base, because if they lose that fight, the game's just instantly over. But I think it's safer to push the tier 2s because then you're not forcing yourself into one style of play. And it becomes less predictable what you're actually going to do on the map.
Well, just protecting the area around Roshan at the moment. Both teams in the neighborhood. Velo spawning out. In fact, Velo jumps into them. They spawn out Yang and TDC. Yang's got end inside him. Yeah, Ghost there as well. Velo loads absorbs himself, making it very hard for them to go on him. Ghost actually leading in. Tombstone's going to be dropped. A little bit of control onto Ghost, but he's going to be defensively disrupted. Febby trying to go for Yang. Looks towards the Slardar and takes down the Tombstone. In the midst of it all, Ghost falling low. Does manage to get himself just down out to the south. But they've lost. Yeah, Undying. And in the midst of it all, Yang coming in onto Febby, but the cars bounces. Bouncing between them and pops the rage onto Velo, but Velo timber chains as well. Febby very low after that false promise. Just about keeping himself alive, but he finally goes down. God. It's a triple kill for Ghost. Maybe even more. They're chasing down Velo. He's not getting himself out of this one, and it's a team wipe. Vici Gaming forcing MVP to hit the decks, and at this point, they're just going to look to go down mid to end the game. There's no buybacks available on MVP, and this has got to be GG.
Dude, that was some That was some Invoker play if I've ever seen it. That was so well executed by Ghost. He actually refreshed as well, I think, to double Ghost Swap. That was a pretty clowny start to the fight, but that was some disgustingly good combo usage there and perfect invokes. So GG's called here by MVP. You know, they had the game in their hands, man. They really did. The beginning looked a little bit rough because Vici were kind of winning the laning phase. A couple of successful smokes, Sunstrike ganks with the Slardar and the Lifestealer. It looked like it was kind of going Vici's way. Then off the back of two really bad fights for Vici, MVP just take a Rax. And I was kind of like, okay, 7,500 golden experience lead just gone in like 2 minutes. And then somehow, some way, Vici just managed to hold against the very farm Tricore of MVP what seemed like 4 or 5 pushes. And then they just still win. That was actually a crazy game. Very fun to watch.
Absolutely. And, well, that is it. MVP. I believe they're out. This is the lower bracket, so they're gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. You can tell that the team still has a ridiculous amount of potential and room to grow. I just think that a lot of it boils down to the fact that their aggression is their own worst enemy. Like, I saw so many things this game that most teams would never do, but MVP, you know, buying the Moonshard on QO instead of another item, like, I don't know, honestly, a lot of things probably would have been better than a Moonshard. But they go for these plays that are just so risky. Like, how many times did they push top and just only hit heroes and never worry about getting the racks?
Yeah, 3 or 4 times that push failed.
And then they finally get the range racks, but that was in like the 3rd or 4th attempt. I think they still need more discipline. I think that's their biggest issue.
All right, well, that is it for that series. And one more series today, Andy. We've got ig.v up against the side of LGD. So don't go around, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back very, very shortly for that one. We'll be able to pop on the Chinese stream so you can enjoy some of the delights of that whilst we wait for the final game of the day. ig.vitality up against lgd.fy. So me and Andy will see you very shortly for the final match of today on MDL LAN.